Hi, everybody. My name is Hannah Murphy, and I'm here at the virtual Lanciano guitar seminar. I'll be talking about career skills and how we can navigate this new media that we've now that there's a pandemic and we're basically just all online all the time. So, um, the first thing I want to talk about is, do I really need social media? Which um, I think is obvious now since we're in this global pandemic and we can't really have live concerts and see each other live. I think there's a lot of benefits to having a social media presence. One thing is you can let your playing speak for itself. People can see videos directly of you playing instead of having to see you play at a concert or something like that. You can also be showing concert promoters why they should hire you. If somebody's looking to hire somebody to play a concert, it's helpful for them to be able to see what the concert would be like, what the whole experience would be like. Often myself and other people who post on social media will post like clips of their concerts, which can be really helpful for concert promoters and audiences deciding if they want to go see that. You can also build an audience that looks forward to seeing your work. Your audience probably would like to see you posting, every so often, every week or so, or every couple days. And you can share your hard work with others. So even if you are maybe not interested in playing concerts or something like that, but you do practice, hours and hours a week, and you want to share the music that you're making with other people, this is a great way to do that. And you can also make friends and connections with other musicians, which is really important for collaborations. So with social media, you need to give your viewers a reason to follow or subscribe to you. So what is it specifically about you that you have to offer? For some people, this could be just that you make really, really beautiful recordings that lots of people enjoy. It could be something like guitar playing tips, and people follow you because they want to learn something new about guitar and you're a great teacher. Maybe something like relatable content. I know there's a lot of people right now that make like guitar meme pages and jokes that we can all relate to. And maybe your thing to offer us is that you can introduce everybody to some new music that they haven't heard before. Or another thing that's interesting is progress videos. I like to see some people that will post like, here's me learning such and such on day one, and then they'll post, every day or every week or something, and you can see the progress. It's something interesting to see and maybe learn from. Okay, so also the thing about having social media is that it's kind of like your portfolio. You can be showing people why they should hire you. And recently, I feel like social media can basically be your press kit. You can be showing how you play. Obviously, if somebody is looking to hire you, they can see exactly how you play in your videos. But they can also see how you interact with your audience. If somebody leaves you a comment, do you respond and have a meaningful conversation? And along with that, what is your personality like? These are really good if somebody wants to hire you to play a concert or to teach lessons or play background music. They can, see some of your personality and see if there's someone that you could really connect with. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about Instagram and Facebook. And these are interesting because they are actually owned by the same company, but they're a little bit different. So Instagram, the goal of the app in general is just to get the users, the viewers, to stay on the app for as long as possible. Instagram was originally for pictures, and I think pictures work really well. They always do well on Instagram. Instagram also allows videos up to 1 minute, and you can do IGTV for longer videos, which is kind of like a new thing. So to have a successful post, you want people to be on your post for as long as possible. So If it's a picture, they're, looking at your picture or reading the caption or reading the comments or leaving comments. If it's a video, you want people to watch as much of your video as possible. And if you can get them to watch it again, that's even better. So the more times they watch it, and then that will tell the Instagram algorithm that your post is good. If people are spending time on it, watching it over and over again, watching it for a long period of time, then Instagram will want to show that content to other people, more people, because it's successful on keeping their viewers on the app. So Facebook is a little bit different. I think it's because we use Facebook mostly on the computer, right? Instagram is really mainly an app that we kind of scroll through. With Facebook, we usually use our web browsers. So I think that on Facebook, people like to see longer videos. For example, my Instagram posts that I post they post directly to Facebook at the same time. So when I post a short video on Instagram, my audience on Facebook comments often, not all the time, but sometimes will be like, can you play the entire piece? Let's hear the entire piece. So they want to hear longer videos, where on Instagram, no one's ever really said that. They just like to, watch your small video and then move on. So maybe think about that for Facebook. The audience could be a little bit more engaged. I think in Facebook, the audience also prefers more personal posts. I've noticed that for my fan page on Facebook doesn't get as much engagement as the page that is like my personal profile page on Facebook. So I think that people like to connect with you individually. So I think that if you can post things to your personal page or make posts more personal, it will do better on Facebook. The other thing that's nice about Facebook is that it makes it really easy for the audience to share the content. If you've probably been on Facebook, you can see at the bottom of these posts, there's just like a little like share, and you can share directly to your timeline and all of your friends can see it too. So that makes it really easy to get things out there on Facebook. So let's talk a little bit about keeping your audience here. We talked about keeping the audience on your posts for as long as possible. So how can we do this? We need to capture their attention immediately, because think about how you're interacting with these apps. If you're on Instagram, you're kind of like scrolling and you're waiting to see if something really catches your eye. So if you're thinking about it from that user perspective, think about it now as the creator. How can you get the user to stop and watch your videos? So you want to capture their attention immediately and then keep them watching it for as long as possible. So I found that it's sometimes beneficial to post like a really small section, even if it's only about like 20 seconds or so. So for example, I have 2 videos that I posted on Instagram here. As you can see, they look very similar. I used the same guitar. It's this 19th century replica guitar. And in the left video, this is just a screenshot, but it's a video of me playing the 5th variation from Variations on a Theme of Mozart by Fernando Sor. And if you know this piece, it's the 5th variation is kind of interesting. It's like a little bit faster and it's got these cool slurs. And so this kind of, I think, was good for catching people's attention immediately. And it also, the up to the repeat part, it's only about like 20 seconds or maybe even less. And then the video loops back. So people end up watching it for over and over again if they really like it. So I ended up getting 66,000 views on this one. And then on the right, I have a video that I posted on Instagram, which is like I said, the same guitar, but I'm playing the Hungarian Fantasy, the entire Hungarian Fantasy by Merz. And this one only got 5,900 views. So I assume that, if somebody is scrolling and they hear just the beginning of the Hungarian Fantasy, they might be like, well, this is boring, and keep scrolling. but there are definitely people who really love classical guitar and would be really happy to hear this, but it's not everybody. It's not as much as, you know, someone just hearing like a little bit. So I personally, as you can see, will do both of these things. I'll post something that's short that'll get a lot of views and get me a lot of followers and a lot of attention, and then I'll post something that is like an entire piece for people that really do want to hear that. And there are people that want to hear that, obviously. So we also want to keep the audience engaged by getting them talking in your comments. So the more comments your post has, the better the post will perform. So ways to get more comments in your post is maybe try asking a question for the viewer's opinion. And this could show that the Instagram content is engaging and people are talking about it, which Instagram will then show it to more people. So most importantly, be authentic. So first of all, don't like write a comment or ask for comments, ask for people's opinions just so you can get comments. Make it something authentic, and when people respond, actually, you know, respond back to them. I think if you're also thinking about how you interact with these apps as a user, not just as a creator, we really don't like seeing things that are like clickbait, or things that are like annoying, like advertisements. Also, try not to copy other creators. It's obviously fine to get inspiration from other creators, but don't, you know, see that somebody did something successful and then try to replicate it exactly, because I see that a lot, and it just feels inauthentic, and I don't think it's a good way to get followers. So just really be yourself, and I think if you show the unique things that you can do, people will want to interact with it. So some do's and don'ts. Do like, comment, and engage with others. This always is great for building relationships and building a relationship with your audience. You should be collaborating with other creators. So if you do a video where you appear on somebody's channel that has 1,000 subscribers or 1,000 followers, chances are a lot of those people will see you doing that on somebody's channel and want to follow you as well. You should also be using relevant hashtags like hashtag classical guitar, hashtag musician, hashtag guitar, things that are actually relevant to the content you're posting. So that leaves us with don't. Never ever buy likes or followers. I know that this seems like a good idea at first, because you might be thinking, well, if I get a lot of followers, my account will look bigger and more people will want to follow me. But the problem is Instagram knows when people do this, and it goes against their terms and services. So they could delete your account for buying followers. And another thing is these fake followers and things are just like these bot accounts, which often are deleted. So say you bought 100 followers, and then Instagram cracks down and realizes 80 of them were bots and deletes those accounts. You just lost 80 followers, and the money you spent is just on nothing now. So it's just, if your account gets deleted or your followers gets deleted, it's just a waste of money and of your time. Also, don't ever use spammy type hashtags. Things like hashtag like or hashtag follow me. Actually, surprisingly, tell the Instagram algorithm that this post is low quality. Instagram has a lot of hashtags that they know are just trying to get likes, or they're not like an authentic post. So always use relevant hashtags. Okay. Let's go back. Okay, so that's Instagram and Facebook. We should talk a little bit about YouTube as well. So with YouTube, we should know your audience. Once again, think of it from the user's perspective. I think YouTube users are much more likely to watch a longer video. So you need to still keep them on the video for as long as possible, but it is good that they, if you could make videos that are a bit longer, so you could post like an entire concert or an entire piece, not just like a 5 second or a 20-second piece of music. So the even better than getting people to stay on your YouTube video for a long time is getting them to click on more of your videos. Um, because once again, this YouTube wants to also get the users to stay on the channel or the app or just on YouTube for as long as possible. So if somebody watches an entire video and then clicks another video, that's even better. That tells YouTube that that video is good. It gets people staying on YouTube. And then it will show it to more people. So how can we do this? I think on YouTube, video quality will matter much more to the viewers. So if you can, you should invest in higher quality equipment. A lot of people use YouTube on their computer. So if you're on your computer, you're kind of used to seeing HD. So another thing about YouTube is you should be able to learn some very basic video editing. I think iMovie is really easy, but there's things like Adobe Premiere and Final Cut, which take a little bit of work and have a bit of a learning curve, but I think that it is pretty effective if you can do it. And also think about maybe changing camera angles and fading in and out and panning the camera, because you do want to keep your viewers' attention as long as possible. If it's not always bad, but if you have just a straight shot of your playing, sometimes the audience will click out or get bored. Okay, so also, can you make money on YouTube? Yeah, you can, but it's difficult. You could monetize your videos so that an ad plays on your channel, and then the creator gets a really small amount of money. I'm sure if you've been on YouTube, you've seen the ads that you have to skip. And so some people can create an income this way, but the monetization requirements are huge. You need 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 hours watched in the past year. But even if you do make the monetization requirements, you probably wouldn't make enough for it to be a substantial income. Maybe something small you could expect. Okay, so after we talk about those apps, I want to talk a little bit about the quality of your content. I think ultimately people will follow you if you're good at what you do, but we want your content, your video and your sound to match how good you are at the guitar. Sometimes grainy videos and a poor sound quality just aren't enjoyable for the listener. So the good news is everybody can start out with good quality. They say that the best camera is the one that you have with you, which is very true. And most right now, I think most people have a smartphone, and all smartphones basically have quality cameras that can record in HD. So the one thing to remember with this though is that your front-facing camera is a much lower quality than your back camera. So the front-facing camera, what I mean by that is that this camera on the front, when you have your phone open, versus the back camera, this one is going to be a lot more powerful, and you should try to use this one if you can. And phone recordings are actually easier to post into the Instagram app. So for example, when I make Instagram videos, I just use my phone because even though I have higher quality equipment and things, it's just so much easier that you can record something and then it goes into your camera roll. And then when you open Instagram and you click on a new post, it just opens your camera roll. It's so easy to get it going. So the other thing, Instagram also compresses the video. So even if you do make a high quality video, like use 4K or a really powerful camera, the video gets compressed anyway. So for Instagram, I think it's better to just get the posts out there and have them as good as they can be, but not spend too much time on them. Okay. Also want to talk about lighting a little bit, because lighting can make like a huge difference in your image. Um, so low lighting, if it's dark, will force the camera to try to make up for how dark it is, and it makes the image like very grainy and noisy. So always make sure the light is directly in front of you. If you have light behind you, it will look like really bright around you, and then you'll be really dark, and that just never looks good. So also natural daytime lighting always looks the best. So for example, this picture here is how I record some of my YouTube videos, but like all of my Instagram videos I do in the daytime just in front of this gigantic window, and I set the camera up right in front of the window. And this seems to work really well with lighting. And then once you get better and you have more experience with this, you can play with different lighting things. But I think natural lighting always looks the best. If you think of like how harsh studio lights are sometimes, and if you're not really familiar with how they work, I think just natural lighting is easier to use. Okay, so another thing is, do I need a fancy camera? Not necessarily. Like I said, our phones can do a lot. For example, I have an iPhone 8, so it's definitely not the newest model, and it can record in 4K with 60 FPS. So that's, even a basic smartphone can do a lot. But you should think about getting better equipment eventually if you can. There are some things that your phone can't do. Let's see, example. So here I have two back-to-back photos that my photographer took of me during a video shoot, and one was with the iPhone, and one was with a DSLR camera, a Nikon. And as you can see, there's just like on the DSLR image, we just have much more rich colors. The image is a bit sharper, and the depth of field is greater. You can see how like some parts are blurry. Obviously, like the headstock is a little blurrier and the background is blurrier. Or we just don't really have that in the iPhone image. So like I said, the iPhone image does a good job. It doesn't look terrible, but you're gonna just get much better quality from a DSLR. So starting with an iPhone is great, but if you can upgrade, definitely do. Okay, and then what about upgrading sound? So for Instagram videos, I often use like a small little lapel mic that I got on Amazon for about $12. And that's a little bit better than the onboard mic for iPhone. And I like that I can, the lapel mics have like a long cable, so I can kind of put the mic where it seems like the sound will be the best. But for YouTube, I use two condenser mics with an audio interface. Okay, so the last thing I wanted to talk about with the social media is creating your own space on the internet. So this is an interesting thing that is just the only place on the internet where you have total control is having your own website. I mean, you never know. Tomorrow, Instagram might say, we don't support videos anymore, only pictures from now on, and then you can't use it anymore. Or Facebook just deletes your account for no reason, and you can't get it back. So this is the only place where you can put everything on and you have total control. So you should include information that will get people coming back to your website. So if you post videos every so often and people have to come back once a week to watch a video, or if you have performance dates and people want to check back and see when you're performing, a blog would be really good for this, so people keep coming back and watching your blog. So with your website, you want to make the URL really clear, short, and easy for people. For example, mine is www.hannahmurphyguitar.com. I wish that it was a little shorter, like I wish it could just be hannahmurphy.com, but I think my name is a little too common for that. So with hannahmurphyguitar.com, I also have, like, my Instagram is @hannahmurphyguitar. My Facebook is facebook.com/Hannah Murphy Guitar, and my YouTube is youtube.com/Hannah Murphy Guitar. So I just like to keep everything consistent. We just really want it to be easy for people to find you. We don't want people to have to like be searching around trying to find your content. Um, so you might be thinking, I'm not a web designer. How can I make a website? And it's just so easy now because we have these websites that host your website like Squarespace, Wix, and WordPress. They're all really simple and they can design a really effective website. The past couple years, I've been using Squarespace. Um, I think it's very user friendly and there's just like really beautiful templates you can choose from. I pay $114 for an entire year. So it seems like a lot initially, but it lasts through an entire year. And I think Squarespace is really easy to use as well. So this this is my whole thing on career skills and new media. If you enjoyed this or if you have any questions and you want me to elaborate on, you can feel free to contact me, hannahmurphyguitar.com, or send me an email or on Facebook or Instagram. And I'll hope to see you guys around more at the Lanciano Guitar Seminar. Thank you.